master's in social work, you cut out 30 hours of graduate school by doing so, and you can go get your MSW in 1 year. That's the. You're saying about Central? So we don't have advanced standing in social work. We have a master's of business administration. So, well, you could go to any school that offers advanced standing in social work. So UC has one, Miami Middletown has one. Our only offering master's level is business as 1 year.
You got 3 years to get that ball rolling.
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying you want us to get an MSW?
Whatever that's called.
Oh, dang. We can.
They just got a grant for forensics program.
I heard that.
Well,
Yeah,
they're waiting on,
I heard that.
yeah, they're waiting on approval or to find out what amount of money they're getting, but they got a minor in forensics now. I mean, it must be straight regardless.
Interesting. Who said? So you can get your master's at any college you want with the 1 year.
I can go to a PWI.
That's what most people say.
By the time you graduate, though, it'll be stuff laying in your lap to like kind of put you in the next direction because you've been set it in. Are y'all coming to my event next week? It's in the yard. Come right in the yard.
We should.
On Wednesday from 4 to 6.
Yeah.
Okay. It's gonna be music, line dance.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna be at work.
Flag football.
Oh.
Kickball.
Working day at DC Market.
Sarah's having her baby right now.
Who is Sarah?
The woman who walked in class 2 days ago.
The pregnant one?
Oh.
It's kind of like a fast emergency, but because their last one, they did lose and have a stillbirth. So she's in the hospital now, and maybe in 2 hours we'll have it.
So, like, do you be taking attendance or not?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because because the feds get on us for it. Like,
Yeah.
I would like to go old school where like they didn't care if you guys showed up at all when I was in college, and if you did your homework, you still got A's. But in the past 10 years, they've got this attendance thing, and they'll kick your ass. Like, they're serious about it. They're serious about like, if any of you get federal student loans, that's what it's for. And they will yank it. And if like we can't prove it somehow, that's why I just had you sign this. And if they ever come, like they signed the Holiday Inn sheet.
Like their class size is so big.
They barely sign in.
My best friend teacher didn't know her. Like, you know, she's in class by the time she got a big room.
Yep.
Because she's in nursing in the stadium. And do like her class is big, like.
I thought that was gonna be right.
Every class is not like that. Me and my best friend was on FaceTime the first day in class. Like, my mom don't look like yours. Where you at? This is a classroom. I didn't think it was gonna be.
I guess it is.
Like that, and it's not classroom like that.
What time is it anyway? Oh, hey. Remember I told you about what we're learning today.
About how you get pregnant.
Yup.
Raise a kid.
Or how you don't get pregnant.
I got a question though.
Yeah.
For that homework, is there a Dropbox to where we can put it in? Like,
You put it in under
You done
assignments.
Nah. I was asking. You said
Like,
we put it under assignments. Okay, so under assignments will be something. I got you.
in D2L. That's the only clip I know how to use. Hello. How are you?
Can I do that? I'm not feeling good.
You got COVID?
Maybe.
So I will say, as usual, I always say, be in person. You will do the best in person and learn everything. But yes, I'm on YouTube Live as we speak.
John Trough?
Yes, sign your sheet. Do what you need. But yes, you guys will be at no. She's got COVID.
You said you got COVID.
Yeah, she got COVID.
Wait, no, but I can be on the YouTube while I'm signing the Constitution.
Dr. Trout at
I'll see you
Central
next
State.
week.
All right, you know in person's best, so
I
you get
do.
straight A's
What? I
and
got a straight A by coming on YouTube.
COVID. So here's where you turn it in under assignments.
What are your own today?
Thanks. Oh my God. This should be the everything.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I grabbed my juice out.
So when you said also, we talked about my friend had the test tube baby the other day. 'Cause
In
it's-
an artificial
Oh,
insemination,
God.
a sperm sample is placed inside the uterine cavity of the patient while she is
That's like an actual
ovulating.
thing. Like somebody really just had a test tube, baby.
In order to
Like
perform
the baby like
insemination,
functional.
the ovaries must be stimulated first.
Here's how you do it.
Cause development, which will give us an
Like,
egg.
that's an actual thing.
The
Like,
treatment gets started on the third day of the cycle through the administration of daily subcutaneous injections. Between 5 to 6 days after the first injection, the ultrasound scan will start taking place in order to evaluate the follicle's growth.
were they like normal?
Usually after 2 or 3 ultrasound scans.
I don't like the
Someone have a
accent.
test
Did the
tube,
baby have any brains?
For some reason, I don't like the accents.
So basically, never mind. That was me here.
So-
Jars.
How many of you guys know how to get pregnant? Because here's the hard part. When you want to get pregnant, you can't. And when you don't want to get pregnant, you do. That seems to be life because you can't control it. Like it's just because like as you get older, that's what we were worried about. We're like, okay, everybody we know has struggled with infertility. Oh, fruit
I
snacks.
have fruit snacks. I gushers. Get it right.
Can I have a fruit snack?
It's trash back. You want them?
They're not open? Hook me up.
Are you fine? Yeah, fruit juice, I can drop it. What you got? But you ain't let me see your water bottle. This your water bottle? With your fruit, no, you wanna come back here. That's not yours.
And they still wet.
They all red, ain't they?
So our goal is to get through a lot of getting pregnant fast because there's a Senate bill that has to be signed, right? Bill or wait, the bill, SGA, Constitution. needs to be signed. So my wife and I were old, and they said we were geriatric pregnancies. Sarah's having the baby right now.
As we speak.
She's being induced
Why
like
you
right
That's your
now.
wife?
Oh, my goodness.
No,
Oh, that
she was
away.
here on
She was.
Tuesday.
And that's not your wife.
It's not my wife.
That's the wife's friend. Let me see your wife. Can I see your wife?
Yeah. Huh?
She been walking around campus like that.
Yeah, she just said she had a few more weeks.
Well, she did, but they had challenges with the last one, and so like any complications, they're like, you need to come to the emergency room right now. So say a prayer for them. Hopefully that'll. They
What's
said
her
2
name?
hours. Sarah Perdomo. It's Dr. Perdomo's wife.
Wait, that's the one that had a test tube, baby?
No, that's my other friend who his 47-year-old wife had.
Oh, she's 47.
Yes, they had their baby
I
about a
see
month
why-
ago.
Okay.
So same thing, like when you want to have a baby, it's really freaking hard to. It just seems to. And then when you don't want to have it and you're young, it's real easy to. Is that's usually when you're the most fertile too. It's like, so just stuff to think about.
Wait, what?
It's you. See, it started getting real fast, didn't it? Like human behavior in the social environment.
Oh,
One of those behaviors is sex,
okay.
right?
Let's get it.
Yeah. Yes, we're starting at conception. So
Okay.
before you're even born. And a lot of the environment you're in the womb like affects who you are later in life too. Like you can get effed up in the womb too. You know what I mean? Like that's why crack babies was a big one. Fentanyl babies. Have you guys seen fentanyl babies recently? Do you want to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it something like?
They finna look like a cat or something.
I can't spell it though.
Computers don't so much.
Bro, you got 3 computers with all them tabs on one, like.
That's how my mind works.
Oh, they be having the shit.
They do, because they go on withdrawal. They go through.
The baby.
They do probably have to give them something to wean them off of it because it's just, oh, it's on Facebook? That's weird. Have you also seen, if you had my class before, you've seen 7 Days of Heroin in Cincinnati?
Yeah.
Watch it again.
Oh, that's sad.
Isn't that crazy?
No.
So, like, if you're using in utero, the baby's addicted, like they're hooked. And so to get them off, methadone's,
Like I was in labor, in the bathroom shooting heroin, about to give birth to my child.
so the baby's first poop shows 6 months of usage. Like in the past, it would be
You're
like,
so clouded when you're using and when you're an addict, you think everything you're doing is okay.
so that's part of the opioid epidemic. It definitely can be dangerous, as you saw there, and why they do test that first poop. So the baby's first poop, they don't poop in utero. They can poop while they're being born. That's actually, yes, and if you breathe that in, that can F you up. So they got to be careful to, like, they put something in and suck the feces out of your lungs. So that's something to be cautious of. But the poop, like, I don't know what they do with weed now, as it's legal everywhere. But like in the past, if you tested positive for weed, they would maybe go into like CPS or like rehab, something, just to make sure that mom had gotten off of stuff and got the ability to be sober. And oh yeah, they are. Perdomo just texted me. He's like, 2 hours. She got her fentanyl shot. Isn't that weird for the epidural? They give you fentanyl. Is that
Right in
new or
your
something?
back. No, that's always.
It's in your back.
Right at the bottom.
Right.
You don't feel anything.
So it doesn't go into the baby like the sac. And that way it just numbs you. So but my wife said it sucks because she's pushing and you can't feel. You're just like, ugh. And they said just act like you're taking a dump, but like you don't feel it. Right. I mean, that can happen. And so childbirth is, yeah, so they measure the baby over 40 weeks. That's because right when you get pregnant, it's actually 2 weeks after your first period. So you're already 2 weeks when the baby is conceived, which is really confusing to me. They'll be like, how old is the baby? 2 weeks. Well, that means it was just conceived. And that's why it's 40 weeks instead of 38, which would be 9 months. I'm always like, why is it 40 weeks? It's because you have your period, you're fertile 2 weeks later, and that's when conception can be here. And that's when, if the sperm catches it here, ideally it's got to get out here. Now, if the thing attaches in there, that's the one they talked about a lot in the abortion stuff, because that can kill the mom. Like if you're in the fallopian tube, because that way the baby grows and then it bursts, but the baby needs to attach out here at like day 4, 5, 6, 7. You've got cell division, it like doubles, quadruples, gets bigger. Then the embryo attaches to the uterine wall, and then it joins the uterine wall. So that's 11 to 12 days later. My wife had to take progesterone because when you're pregnant, your estrogen lowers and your progesterone goes up, and that tells you not to shed your uterine lining. That's what a period is. But if you shed the uterine lining when this is attached, you lose the baby. So that's where a lot of miscarriages occur. We had 2 of them that way, and it sucks. You know, like you try and you're like, oh, I guess we'll never get pregnant. So there's a lot of details that go into it. Have any of you guys heard of Unplanned? That was another movie that came out. There's 2 movies. There's Jane and then Unplanned. The Janes are, I can show you the trailer if you want.
Oh man, this is gonna trigger me. I can't watch stuff like this.
We don't have to watch it if you don't.
Oh man.
Yeah.
It's okay, you can watch it. I'll just step out or something.
Oh yeah, we don't
I
have
like
to.
watch anything about kids being
Like abortions and stuff.
while
Right.
pregnant.
Right. No, I absolutely get it. And so that's why.
But I'll step out now. Y'all still, I see it. Yeah, I don't even know how.
It's
set up.
fine.
Not get
They
it. No,
can-
I want to watch it. I don't know where I was just thinking. I don't want to see that. No, I want to watch it.
You don't want to.
No, I do.
You do.
Yeah.
Okay. About
Basically, what she's like, they just get a vacuum, just put a part of the baby.
that is
'Cause I don't
that.
know how it works, actually.
Okay. Yeah. So what unplanned is actually a woman who worked for Planned Parenthood, and she had an awakening while at Planned Parenthood as they called her in, and she's like, I can't do this anymore. And she's like very vocal and outspoken in the pro-life movement. Jane's is about how the abortion movement started. So I try to show both sides to just keep all informed, and that's why I also give a warning is I don't want somebody to be challenged. I think that gosh, what was it, 1971? Because in the US you weren't able to have anything like that until 1971. That was the year my sister was born. There's also another one called MAFA. What's that?
You said 1971, that's when they said you could have an abortion?
That was when it became legal. Yeah.
Yeah, I would have been mad if I had my baby in 1971.
Looking at your.
Oh.
Yeah, like, you was supposed to-
And then there's another documentary. It's called MAFA 21, and some people think they put it inner city to like take out all of us inner city population to just like stop population growth. So there's like several theories that go along with it, and that gets into philosophy and theory and whatnot. And kind of again the whole growth of a baby when you want to try to have one, because I've seen it with so many. I mentioned my brother. I don't know if they already erased that. They tried to have a child and had endometriosis and just couldn't. And then I think so. The first 7 weeks, that's kind of where in Ohio, they are 90% formed. So by 7 weeks, you've got heart, you've got fingerprints, you've got brain. And that's why they mentioned fetal alcohol syndrome, where if you don't know you're pregnant in the first 4 or 6 weeks, it's okay, as the baby doesn't have a brain, doesn't have a heart. Like it is literally the way that it showed in that previous picture. But at week 6, they have all of that stuff. You know what I mean? Like 6 and 7, they're 90% formed. Embryos most vulnerable to the environment, and that's where we talk about human behavior in the social environment. So people do try to quit smoking. People do try to quit drinking. They have several ways that they assist the moms to get off of this. And then they call it a fetus. So that's 8 to 40 weeks. And those first 8 to 12 weeks are actually the hardest time to get through. So most people don't say like, we're pregnant. They won't tell even family, you know what I mean? Because there are miscarriages. It is sad. People ask you like, how's the baby? How's everything? And you have a miscarriage. It is heartbreaking. You're like, well, we didn't make it through those. So most people wait until the 12th week. They're like, at 12 weeks, they'll be like, our baby is due in 6 months. So that's when you'll see. You can also test male or female at 8 weeks now. I don't know if you guys heard that. Like you just take a blood test. 8 weeks.
Get it early.
Yep. And it tests the blood for X chromosome. If it has Y chromosome, it's a male, if I'm saying this correctly. If it only has X chromosome, it's a female. Because the mom is female, the baby's female. I know it is 2023, so they may pick later different. But they are assigned in the womb, male, female. At 24 weeks, they can survive outside the womb. That makes me feel good. As I know Sarah is at 34 weeks. She's having her baby in an hour. And she's 34 weeks. So 10 past. A lot of the lung development is like 32. What's that? She's having her baby in an hour. She's the department chair's wife who came in here on Tuesday.
Oh, really? She was pregnant.
So it's kind of an emergency. Yeah.
You just seen her.
Right,
It really was an emergency. Like because they had a stillbirth 2 years ago. And so, and you have to have the baby. That's
What's
what
a stillbirth?
literally
Like, the baby's dead, but you still have to give birth to it.
you still have to go through labor and So they're extra precautious that way. Oh no, this one's going to die. See, this is why I got the backup Mac. People say, why do you have 3 Macs? This one's going to die.
Oh, God. Like,
He can definitely do my backup. Now I gotta pull up the backup. Chargers.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to end it here and then hit on. So people online,
And he pulled all of them out,
I need them all.
like, one at a time.
Leah and Giona, I'm going offline for 1 minute. See you in a second.